Hello again, this is Charles Wallingford back with another watch collection review, and this is an update to a watch collection review of one of my subscribers, Edwin. He had a pretty good collection before. You can check out that video by clicking right there, and he has upgraded his collection. If you want to see what grade he received at this point, and let's discuss what updates to his collection that made it a better collection. Alright, let's go look at that collection right now. Edwin has quite a few watches. In this video, I don't want it to be too long, so we're only going to go over the watches that Edwin recently acquired. So first off, we have the Aquaterra 8500 Opaline. It's a pretty versatile watch. I like that one. And then we also have the Aquaterra 2500 with the blued hands. Now, these two watches were watches I suggested to him for an upgrade to his collection, and it did truly upgrade his collection. But I do have some problems with the purchase as a whole, but they're minute and minuscule, and we'll talk about those later. Then coming in, we have the Seiko. Then coming in next, we have the Seiko Shogun Titanium. This is a very, very popular model, and Edwin explains that he likes this watch because of the weight. It is a 44mm diver watch, but yet by being titanium, it's really light. And that's important when you have these larger watches, because if they slide around any on your wrist, that will be a bad thing, and it will hurt your wrist or your hand, the bottom or the top of your hand. He's very happy with this watch. And last but not least, Breitling Navitimer. Breitling Navitimer A23322. This is his favorite watch right now, and out of this collection, this is my favorite watch out of his collection. And before, he didn't have any watches like this in his collection. And not to say that those watches weren't that good. The watches were spectacular before, but he really upgraded his watch collection. Now, let's go over his grade. So the first category is horological significance, and he received a 22. Now, he lost 2 points because of the change. Does his watches have horological significance? Absolutely. You have that Navitimer, you have that Omega Seamaster, you have the Omega Aquaterra. Yeah, those have some absolute horological significance to them. What is horological significance? One thing is iconic. Is that an iconic watch? Are people going to know that watch just right away? Also, horological significance is a watch that has something that no one else has done before, or it's rarely done. If you have, for an example, one of those watches from Jaeger-LeCoultre, Rolex, or even Invicta that has those meteorite dials, man, that's completely unusual, wonderfully done, and you would get a lot of points for that. At 22, It's a very good. Once you're in the 20s, it's very good. And then it's very hard to get points once you pass 20. Test of time. Now, last time when Edwin had 23 points for test of time, he gained a point for test of time, 24 points. So again, like I said, it is very difficult. Once you get to the 20s, getting additional points is going to be extremely difficult. But yes, he gained a point for test of time. Those new watches that he added will definitely take the test of time and still be wonderful watches years from now. Next up, variety. He gained 1 point from variety. Now, how did he gain 1 point for variety? And he actually listened to what I told him to do. He got watches that were my suggestion that will up his score, and he'll only earn 1 point. Unfortunately, it's because a lot of his watches they look like each other. The Tudor, the Seiko, and that Omega, those diver watches, diver style watches. Even though that Tudor's technically, I don't think is a diver style watch, but they all look the same. And unfortunately, in variety, watches shouldn't look the same. Now I know that Shogun may be used or worn in situations where he might not want to wear that Omega. I get that, but like I said, in the sense of variety, he didn't do as well as he should. He actually pulled points from himself. He rather deducted points by having that watch in his collection, in my eyes. Age is the last category, and Edwin earned 1 more point with that. He earned 1 more point with age from before he had 23 points, 24 points. His collection is well above average, and at 24 is 1 point away from absolute perfect. He has some of those watches that say, wow, you have this in your collection, wow, you have that in your collection. For that, he definitely deserves 24 points for his collection, and in this category of age. Okay, with the grand total, he has a 92. Now, he improved his collection greatly, but he only gained 2 points. How is that possible? Well, it's because, one, like I said before, with variety, he should have, honestly, maybe even not to, if he loves that watch, he loves that watch, but having that Shogun and having that Omega 300 Seamaster, they look like the same watch as far as variety goes. They absolutely look like the same watch. Also, with horological significance being added and flexibility being taken out, that's how he wasn't able to optimize his points. But his score did improve from 92 to 90. So let's go over what he can do to make his collection better. I don't like telling people to get rid of a watch or what have you, or a watch needs to go. Other people have done that. It bothers me to say that because I don't know what that watch's significance truly is. I don't know why you have that watch, because watches represent more than something on your wrist. They represent represent memories. They represent accomplishments, represent a lot of things. So I don't like doing that, but I have to on this one. I absolutely have to. So I'm saying, Edwin, the Tudor has to go. That Tudor, is no need to have that watch in your collection anymore. That one needs to go. And then what he also asked me, which Omega Aquaterra should go from his collection? Which one should be removed from his collection in order to get the next watch? Edwin asked me which watch should go for his Aquaterras. Should he have 2 Aquaterras? Absolutely not. You shouldn't have 2 Aquaterras. And that actually, I forgot to add to that. That's another thing as far as variety that took away from his score. So, which Aquaterra should he let go? The 2500 should stay. 2500 should stay. The 8500, I believe, should go to add to the variety. If he likes one or the other, I mean, keep one or the other. But I truly believe for variety, as variety goes, you won't lose any points for any other subject matter by losing one of those, by losing that 8500. In my eyes, let the 8500 go, and then put those 2 watches toward the next watch. So let's talk about the next watch. Okay, let's talk about what watches I believe that can change his collection and give him that higher score. He's in a perfect situation. I mean, his collection is damn near perfect. It truly is. Iconic watches all over the place. But let's make his collection a little bit better. Now, my first suggestion really would give him, to me, the most amount of points because it shows that he is at another level. That next level is going off the beaten path and identifying a really nice watch regardless of the name. All his watches are mainstream known watches. I suggest going off the beaten path on a lesser known, lesser named watch brand, Jaeger Benzinger. And the Jaeger Benzinger rhodium rose gold dial, that would be a great watch, a great addition to a wonderful collection already. And then having something like that would show others, hey, I want the best possible watch, not the best possible name. He has some great names on there, but I think you need to go off the beaten path a little bit with this one. And out of all my suggestions, this is the lowest in the cost realm. I think this would be a great addition to your collection. Next up, if you don't want to go off the beaten path, you want to go with major brands and stay with major brands, very well. How about the Cartier Roadster? With that Jaeger Benzinger and the Cartier Roadster, both of those are dress watches. Even though those Aquaterra could very well do well in a dress situation, and that Rado, it goes well in a dress situation, you need more dress watches or a straight up dressed watch. And that would be an awesome collection. And it's still sporty. It's a very sporty watch. That, I think, would really make a difference in your collection, adding something like that. And the look, that look is completely different. That Rado is completely different, but that's the only one. I think you need another watch that looks completely different to add to your collection. Last but not least, I put my feelings aside when I put these videos together. I really do. Of course, this is all my feeling of what watches a person should get. It's all subjective in a sense. And I don't like suggesting Rolex Submariners this much, but I have to. I absolutely have to. And he asked me about that watch. Yes, the Rolex Submariner, not the regular Rolex Submariner by any means. Geez, you don't need another black diver. But the Rolex Submariner 16613, the blue and the gold, that would bring more color to your collection, a different look to your collection, and add that extra oomph to your collection. And then of course, it is an iconic piece. If you want to have more iconic pieces, by all means, it will help, definitely help in the subject of horological significance. It truly will. And it's not the regular Rolex, that black Rolex. Please don't get that watch. No, do not get that watch. Okay, everyone, that is my review. Those are my suggestions for when. For some of you, you highly agree. For some of you, you highly disagree. If you do highly disagree, please explain why and help out when, you know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I can learn something. I'm not afraid of learning. I'm absolutely not afraid of learning, but I think these watches that I suggested would change his collection, and the critiques I gave his collection are definitely warranted. This is Charles Wallingford. When showed you how he spent his money. I asked the question, how would you spend your money?